Hey everybody, welcome to the channel where we talk everything Chicago Bears, Cubs. We also got some Blackhawks and maybe some Bulls in there too. Listen, if you like what you see here today, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments down below. Make sure we can all beat that YouTube algorithm and grow together. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Hello, Cubs fans. Welcome in, and welcome back. It is AJ, your average fan here. We got us another Cubs update today. Spring training still rolling forward. Spring training looking good from my point of view. Today's video, we will briefly go over the Cubs record. We'll look at how spring training is shaken out as a whole so far. This will be like the first iteration of that weekly update video that I was talking about before the season started. And then also we will focus in on Nico Hoerner and Matt Shaw as we have a couple of updates about them. So let's get right on into it. So first, we will go over kind of the spring training record. The Cubs had one game today so far against Cleveland. They have a second game this evening against Kansas City. And the Cubs are looking pretty decent in spring training. They are 7-0-3 in spring training. You can have tie games, so that is not an issue there. I believe that a tie game counts as a win for both teams. They don't really count it against your losses. They technically don't really count it against your wins either. But if you look at like ESPN and places like that, they don't really show the tie games on their records. So the Cubs still appear as 7-0. And again, those three tied games in there. Working through a bunch of pitchers, as I've said, we have cut the roster down once so far. I have not seen who was in that cut list. I never really did take a peek at it, but I do know that it is guys that go to AAA and AA training camp, so there is that. As far as the rest of the roster goes, Bruhan is making a really big case to be a bench role piece, big time for sure. So I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm liking his style of game so far. It seems like every game he's hitting a double, a home run. He's getting a lot of productive work in there, and I love to see that. So that's really that's really kind of the crux of the Cubs issue is basically they're trying to figure out what to do with their bullpen, and they're trying to figure out their bench guys because the bench did not look very strong last year. You had Madrigal, you had Miles Mastroboni on that list, so there really wasn't really not really the kind of guy that you could look at in a big spot of the game, pull him off the bench, and have a whole lot of confidence in that player to get you a hit. But it looks like just on what they have in spring training, they have far better options than what they had last year. No matter who those bench role guys turn out to be, it just looks like on the face value of it, it is a stronger bench than what we would have had last year. So we will continue to monitor that through the rest of spring training. It is May 1st or March 1st. I apologize. Not May, March. It is March 1st. So we play meaningful baseball in 17 days. The 18th is when the Cubs start playing regular season baseball. So again, we will keep an eye out on what's going on with the bench guys. With the bullpen, I think that there's a lot of guys kind of still really fighting for bullpen spots there. I mean, it seems like every game there's probably one guy that gives up a good couple of hits and a guy that's given up a couple of runs. But there's also a lot of guys that are going 1 to 2 innings without giving up anything. And so they're trying to make a strong case for the opening day roster as well. So I think as we get into the final week and a half of spring training, we'll really start looking at the pitching situation and who is really putting themselves in a big spot to make the opening day roster. But for now, that's what I got on the record. That's what I got on what the roster is looking like. I really want to focus in on Nico Hoerner and Matt Shaw. I'm looking at this article that was posted earlier today, or I'm sorry, yesterday, about Nico Hoerner and Matt Shaw. Um, right now, we already know that Nico Hoerner is not going to make the trip. Uh, he's not going to make the trip with the team for that Dodgers series, which I have already said, and I will say again, I am okay with that. I would prefer that he keeps tracking in the right direction and he either makes the the first home opening series or he makes the first road series. And looking at this um, article, it says team manager Craig Counsell said on Thursday Nico is very much tracking forward, being ready for the Cubs' domestic opener against Arizona on March 27th. So that tells me that he won't be ready on the 18th, and he probably won't be ready for the first series that we play on the road because I'm actually just going to pull up their schedule here really quick because I don't believe that the Cubs even play at home immediately after. Let's see here. Schedule or not. Don't give me the schedule. Okay. Let's do it this way. Yeah, for whatever reason, uh the MLB website will not let me pull up the schedule at the moment. But yeah, that tells me that while they are looking at Horner being ready for the first home opener, it looks like he will miss the first, what would that be, 6 games or so. So he'll probably miss that Dodgers series and then the first road series of the season, which again, like I've said, I'm perfectly okay with that. Um, I'm okay with him being ready for that, that first home series, which March 27th isn't even that far. I mean, you're literally looking at him missing a week and a half of baseball, which again, that schedule is a little weird because they have a couple of days off before and after that series in Japan. So really, he's not missing a whole lot of time. Like I said, he might miss, 5 or 6 games as a whole, which not that big of a deal. You want him to be 100% when he comes back. I think that, 2024, 2023, a big part of Cubs players having injury issues is that they were coming back before being 100%. So just let Nico Hoerner get back to 100%. I'm perfectly okay with that. As for Shaw, they don't have a decision on whether he will be ready for the opening series in Tokyo. Um, but he is supposed to have action in spring training that is supposed to be starting this weekend. So I don't know if I don't. He did not play at all in the Cleveland game. We might see him off the bench against Kansas City later tonight. That might be a possibility. Or you might see him tomorrow. For sure, should probably see him on Monday. So obviously they're going to monitor how he's playing to see if he will be ready for that opening series. It says here that the Cubs have not made a decision about third baseman Matt Shaw's availability for the Tokyo series. Shaw, who has been sidelined with the oblique injury, will likely play his first Cubs league game Sunday. So yes, it is likely that we will see him tomorrow. You may see him off the bench tonight against the Kansas City Royals. We're not exactly sure yet, but yeah, I just want to see if he is 100%, then he is 100%. I just would like to see uh, how fast he progresses, really, because he's had a shortened spring training, which I mean the Cubs have already had a shortened spring training because of the Tokyo series, but he even has a shorter spring training. So how fast can he progress? Because we also saw reports that Justin Turner is taking reps during practice at third base. We haven't seen him in a game at third base, but that might just be a backup plan for if Shaw is not ready. We're not 100% sure on that yet. But yeah, I'm just curious to see how fast Shaw progresses, if he is ready in time for Tokyo. If not, what would be the plan with him? Would they just do what they're doing with Horner and have him ready for that first series against Arizona at home? Not 100% sure. But Cubs fans, that is the update for today. That is what we got. Yeah, Cubs starting 7-0-3 in spring training. We have some updates on Nico Hoerner and Matt Shaw and how they're looking. Cubs fans, you drop your comments down below. Let me know how you're feeling, and we will catch you guys in the next one.